So, as we've been talking about, things certainly haven't looked the way that we all thought they would this year. You all, though, were in an especially unique position. Springtime is typically your least busy time of year because your members are busy coaching baseball typically and not attending a lot of events or anything like that. So, on top of having to shift the content you did have planned to virtual, you also had to, your members were coming to you for looking to you all for to keep sharp and to keep busy and sane maybe when they're used to out being on the field. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, I'll actually clarify a little bit. We usually don't have much of any live events in the spring because it's just so hard to get the coaches all in one place and to pay attention to anything when they're busy with their teams. So we actually came out and we created a whole bunch of new content and pushed out a lot of content that we had that wasn't really available before um, because the coaches were looking to us. One thing I think I mentioned in our past conversations is our group of baseball coaches is very good about wanting to learn more and always be changing and evolving with the times. So we heard from those guys that a lot of their focus now, since they had all this time on their hands, they couldn't recruit, they couldn't really be with their teams, they have no games, so they're trying to learn. And we obviously had a lot of stuff sort of in our arsenal anyway, where we have a lot of instructional videos. We have a resource center, um, which those are available through the app. You can see on our app, right on the bottom, there's a videos link that goes to our full-length instructional videos. We have a lot of other things that would just be going on in the news feed in general, where we're posting shorter things on a weekly basis just for them to consume. And so one of the big things that we did this spring was the ABCA at home virtual clinics, which were basically sort of a souped up Zoom call where we ran a variety of topics. You can see the one that's upcoming next week, which is the 12th and the final one that we're doing in this series, is regarding the diversity in baseball. But we've had a lot more position specific things, pitching, hitting, fielding type things that were in the series. So this one that's coming up is the 12th. So we actually ran them 11 weeks in a row previously and averaged about 1,500 unique viewers that got on live for those events. So that was very successful. Another thing that we did was we really amped up our podcast, which was coming out on a bi-weekly basis previously. The staff member that we have who runs that really stepped it up and just started pumping them out, and we actually released them 5 days a week for 5 weeks in a row, I think,
Wow.
just to give more content. And we've also got a really nice magazine called Inside Pitch Magazine, and this is something we were sort of thinking about working on anyway, was how to best sort of digitize that archive so that our members could go in and read all the past magazines. So we amped that up and released every past issue of the magazine on our website, and also on our most recent update with the app. It's actually in our more section. There's a magazine button now that you can go in and read individual articles from the magazine, or pull up the full magazine and read it in a reader view. And if anybody's interested, I used, I think I'm pronouncing this correctly, Publitas was the reader view that we used, which I researched those quite a bit. And that one was the best one that I could find, that where you could really control if people could share it or do different things. Because for us, we're obviously a members association, and that's a member benefit. So we don't want people to just be able to send the magazine link to anybody they want. We want them to have to go to our website or app and log in and view it there. So that was a good one to sort of keep control of that. For the ABCA at home clinics, since we were anticipating it actually went on kind of longer than we thought it would originally. But we didn't think of it as a permanent thing, so we actually just put that out to the public. So it was on our website. You had to be on our website viewing it, but it was not behind a login or anything like that. Anybody could just click in the app and start watching, or on our website and just click play. So yeah, we just focused as a staff on just pushing out a lot more stuff to keep the coaches engaged, and it was very successful.
So using those channels that you had existing already and just kind of amping that up, plus then creating essentially from scratch 12 now will be 12 weekly webinars on pretty short notice. You all put that together. It couldn't have been easy, but I mean, it definitely sounds like it paid off. All the work you all did with the amount of participants you had, averaging 1,500 per week is quite impressive. So, you know, congrats on that. Both of these, the webinars, the ABCA at Home series and the podcast, they're both sponsored. Is that right?
Yeah, we did have a sponsor, Pocket Radar, that stepped up and sponsored the ABCA at Home series. And then the podcast, we've actually been doing the podcast for several years, and we've had a few sponsors come in and out on that. And we did have one just recently called Team Builder that is sponsoring the next couple months of podcast episodes at least, and may extend beyond that. So those were some nice sponsorship victories in this time.
Yeah.
You know, we were obviously having, it's interesting with the app. I think we might be getting to this later, so I might be jumping ahead, but you know, we put out the app and we're sort of getting potential sponsors used to what it was and seeing what our numbers could be and things like that. And I'm sure everybody in the association world who deals with sponsors knows that people are tightening their belts, and they're still engaged for the most part, but they're sort of waiting to see what happens with their businesses before they spend additional money. So it was nice to have these ones step up in this time.